Hello and welcome to Josh Forecast Crypto or Crypto Weeklies. My name is Josh. Again, today we'll be talking about Solana, an extensive video on how Solana is a potential retirement vehicle, as well as what are its key levels right now in terms of undervaluation, overvaluation, as well as the forecast per hour AI model. Starting with the heat map today, there has been some positives over the last 24 hours. Some cryptos are rallying, such as Doge, Sheeb, and Bitcoin Cash, and fourth number is Solana, up by about 3%. Crypto of the day is still Sheeb, with a performance of over some of the key periods 5.5% and decline of about 6% over 30 days, and over the 90 days grew by about 181%. Nonetheless, Solana is in top five rallying cryptos right now over the last 24 hours, and over the last 7 days you can see Sol is at number 3 at with a rally of about 7%. This is our crypto heat map, looks at various time frames and provides a single snapshot of which crypto is mostly rallying over those time periods. Solana being number 3 on the spot makes us a compelling case to cover it today. Looking at our AI model for Sol, this is the weekly price action for Sol since it was launched in April 2020. The actuals are in white. The bull case forecasted by our model is in green. The bear case is in yellow. Extreme bear line is red line, and the line in the middle is the base case scenario forecasted by our model. Right now, the price of Sol, if you check coin market cap, this is at around the price is at around $147. We had trained our model back in early March when the price was $110, and the forecast for the first week of May at a base case level for Sol was price at around $128. This means that Sol's current price, which is at around $147, falls under the bull case scenario. And the full bull case ceiling price for Sol at this point was forecasted by our model in March was at around $215. So that is the ceiling, theoretical one standard deviation ceiling forecasted by our model at this point in time is $215, and this ceiling expands to about $339 in early August of 2024. So price action between that is now between $128 to $215 is a theoretical bull case price action between as we move ahead in time in August. Price action at around $150 and $339 would be a bull case scenario for Sol. Going back to if there is a correction, we have as we have seen in the wider crypto market, if that permeates through Solana, and if there is a pullback, the theoretical floor for Sol is between $60 to round it up and 69, so almost 70, between 60 and $70. That's the theoretical downside. The upside is between $150 at a base case level to sorry, $128 at a base case level to $150 level at a base case, and the bull case between $215 and $333. Those are the forecasts for Sol. But looking at a longer time period, can Sol be used as a based on our crypto retirer model, and which is a compound annualized growth rate based model, takes into the consideration for the number of Sol tokens needed to be a Sol millionaire, as well as the price at three scenarios. One at 8%, which is a conservative case growth year over year for Sol at 8%. You can see that this kind of performance Solana achieves inside 7 days. So 8% growth is at a yearly level is definitely a conservative case, but we are forecasting 15 to 16 years down the line in the future. That's why we started our conservative case at 8%. With that in mind, Solana, if it manages to grow at 8%, the price action in 2040 could be at around $427, and the number of Sol token needed without staking to be a Sol millionaire would be at around $400. This is not financial advice. None of the content on the channel is financial advice. This is an extrapolation using compound annualized growth rate, or the other models that we have created are using historical data, creating AI based forecasts. So the second case, which is kind of like a realistic scenario, growing or an asset growing for the next 15-16 years at around 15%, would definitely be falling at under bull case. In that 15% tragic year-over-year growth rate, the number of the price of Sol in that regime in at 2040 would be at around $1,100. And if you are of the opinion that you need to you need that time frame to be, instead of 2040 you need it to be 2034 or even 2032, you can check out the price points on each of the point, or the year in the timeline. We have that model covered, and corresponding number of tokens would be the line in the red line corresponding to that year. So for example, for 2034, the number of Sol needed to be a Sol millionaire would be at around $2,000. But you can see the beauty of compounding, what what at around 2034, the requirement at around 2000 Sol tokens. In 2040, that number goes down to less than 1000 at around 911 Sol tokens needed to be a Sol millionaire. If it we consider the 22% compound annualized growth rate, which is essentially half of what Bitcoin did in its first 15 years. Bitcoin grew by about 47% or 48%. So if we divide that by 2, we'll get around 22% compound annualized growth rate if Sol managed to do something similar to Bitcoin. The price of Sol in that case in 2040 would be at around $2,600. The number of Sol token to be a Sol millionaire would be at around $375 without staking. And if we go back in time and say that instead of 2040, I need to be a Sol millionaire in 2032, the number of Sol token would be 108 sorry, $1,850 Sol tokens. And if you find that this number is quite daunting in terms of the number of Sol tokens needed to accumulate, and if you feel that 1 million is a stretch goal, what I personally do is I divide this number by 10, and instead of 1800, I look at 180 that as a target. And instead of a millionaire in Sol, which is an altcoin which may or may not exist 15 or 20 years down the line, if personally speaking, I am more conservative, looking at only 100K worth of realized USD realized in an altcoin, because as you might be aware, in crypto the names keep on changing. Apart from Bitcoin and Ether, the names always, it's kind of like uh, musical chair where the altcoins come and go. So in terms of the number of or the valuation of what essentially would be a million in 2040, in today's price, that is at around 315,000 dollars, number of equivalent 315K equivalent of Sol at 8% would be 1 million in 2040. 120K worth of Sol today at 15% would be at around 1 million, and 50K worth of Sol today at 22% CAGR would be at around 1 million. So this is again, all of these models are available on the site, and you can do your own analysis to instead of being a millionaire, if your target is being 500K or 250K or 100K, you can divide these numbers yourself by corresponding fractions. So for 500K, dividing everything by 2; for 250K, dividing everything by 4; and for 100K, dividing everything by 10. Those is essentially how I personally do it. For in terms of the new additions to our Solana related coverage on the site, we came up with the crypto eval for Sol, looking at the MVRV approach, if Solana is overvalued or undervalued. In terms of its Z score on MVRV terms, Solana is definitely overvalued at this point in time. But again, this is just one indicator. where the price or the red line over here, which is the MVRV Z score, is above Z, above the zero line, which is the dark white line in at around zero level. That means starting January 2024, Solana started its journey to being overvalued in terms of its historical price action. And this is the weekly price action for Sol, color coded in blue, whereas the Z score is color coded in red. So this is one of the new additions. We have updated this model to about late April 2024. And in terms of more importantly, the regression analysis for Sol, this is our polynomial regression analysis with the base function at which is the line in pink. I will remove all the other bands for you to see this. So this is the line in white is the price of Solana, whereas the line in pink is the polynomial regression function wrapped around these price action. So there are instances when the regression function is in decline and instances where function is in incline mode. Right now we are in incline mode because the prices essentially over the last key periods are putting higher lows as well as higher highs, which was case for Solana starting end of 2022. So that's the reason why some of the regression bands right now are flashing Sol's price as undervalued on this analysis. So you can see that if Solana were to crash to about 111k, sorry, 111 USD, that would the price point at that level would correspond to the darkest or the lowest heat band, which is 3 standard deviation down from the base case scenario for Sol. This, I believe, is kind of at this juncture, 111 dollars Solana. Although in terms of its heat bands, it looks at a very lucrative entry point. But as we know that this function has a tendency to go up with time and also go down with time as the phase of the market shifts from bullish to bearish. So nonetheless, right now, per this regression model analysis approach, price between $111 and $195. That's the uh, range between 2 standard deviation and 3 standard deviation approach. So per this regression band analysis, price under $295 is considered per this model a good entry point. But again, this is not financial advice, and if we were to rely on this model and look at it as a indicator to analyze what could be a theoretical 2 standard deviation top at this point for Sol, that top is at around $1,800. So an $1,800 Solana would be as overvalued as Solana was overvalued in 2021 November. But this is an increasing function. So what we had tried to achieve is, instead of looking at the regression function which goes up or down with time as the phase of the market cycle changes, we created a extrapolated trend line for which was a function of the base trend line in pink, and extrapolated in those 2 standard deviation peaks to the upside and 2 standard deviation to the downside as well. And looking at 2025 per this model, a theoretical 2 standard deviation peak at 2025 around November territory, which is essentially 4 years after Solana's previous peak. This 2 standard deviation peak forecasted by our regression bands is at around $4,000 for Solana for the upcoming cycle. And if Solana stays relevant for another market cycle, its 2 standard deviation peak could be somewhere between 20 and $21,000. So this is with this, I think this is a good point to conclude this video. Just to summarize everything, the regression bands look at Solana at the current price at around 2 standard deviation and 3 standard deviation. Per our crypto eval, this is still price action is still overvalued. But in terms of crypto retirer, Number of sol tokens, realistic scenario. Sorry, this is not sol, this is ETH. Number of sol token needed in the bear case at around 2300, in the base case at around 900 sol tokens, and in the bull case at around 375 sol tokens. So this is what we have in store for Solana today. Hope you like this content. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and also give this video like, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.